The Nintendo Switch 2 needs these 5 things or else I will not buy it. I'm kidding. Welcome to the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, episode number 89. We're almost at that 90. Oh, it feels very good. Welcome to the show, guys. How are we doing? Whether you're a YouTube listener on the Mario Matter channel, the YouTube channel, or you're on Spotify, Apple, Pandora, iHeartRadio. I don't know where anybody listens to the freaking podcast. I assume a lot of Spotify and Apple podcasts, but who knows where you're at. Either way, we appreciate your listenership. I am your host, EmSwizzle, or Max. Either one works. And we have a fun-filled Nintendo goodness show for you today, my friends. Lots of Nintendo news to discuss as of posting. It is Saturday, May 18th as of recording, Friday, May 17th, and my friends, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remake releases next week. It's a good time to be a Nintendo fan. What is this show going to be? What is the rundown of this episode, you might want to know? Well, just in a minute here, we're going to get to some Nintendo news. If you've never listened to one of these podcasts, every single episode, we run through the Nintendo news from the past 7 days. We'll get into that in just a second here. After that, I have a personal segment that I kind of want to dive into here about Paper Mario, the Thousand Year Door. I don't know whether I want to play the remake or the original, and it's a real juicy topic for several reasons. We'll get there, and then after that, we dive into the title of the podcast, the title of the podcast. 5 things the Nintendo Switch 2 needs to have. And I'm not going by the basic stuff. Oh, it needs power. It needs good marketing. I chose 5. I chose some main things, but 5 pretty unique features the Switch 2 needs to have for it to be a success in all ways. After that, we get to the Q&A segment of this podcast called the Answering Your Questions segment, where I, Max or EmSwizzle, answer your questions. So, get excited. If you want to skip anywhere in the podcast, there are timestamps down in the description down below. But with that said, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Hopefully, I haven't wasted any of your time. Let's go ahead. Let's get to the Nintendo news to kick off this podcast episode. Also, we are giving away a $5 Nintendo eShop gift card in the show, so look out for that. It'll be somewhere hidden. We'll see. Let's get to the news.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
I see. You want to know about Nintendo news, my friend. Well, guess what? You've made it to the Nintendo news headline segment, the first segment of this podcast, the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast. I'll shut up now, sorry. But this is the news segment where I go through tons of Nintendo news from the past 7 days. As we said, it's a fine Saturday. Hope you all are doing well. We post on Saturday, but do you actually listen on Saturday? Do you listen on Sunday, the day after? You always listen the next Monday? Who knows when you listen? Either way, we got great news for you. So, before we get into the news, I do have one trivia question. I always ask a trivia question before we get into the news, and you have all show to think about it, and I give you the answer at the end of the show. Today's trivia question is, what was the final game released on the Nintendo Wii? Was it A, Just Dance 2020? Was it B, Retro City Rampage Deluxe? Was it C, Shakedown Hawaii? Or was it D, Just Dance 2019? You let me know. I give you the answer at the end of this episode. So stay tuned for that. You have all shows to think about it. But if I can pick this up with my feet here, no, I cannot. I'm grabbing it right now. I have all of our news in this hat. Let's go ahead. Let's pick out one to discuss first. Which one will it be? I always fear the first thing that I pick out. Yeah, I'm not going to read that one first. We have to start with a bang. And you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and hand select a banger piece of Nintendo news. Do you guys want to start with the rumor? We can start with the rumor. All right, guys. This one, a lot of people have mixed feelings on. And our first piece of news reads, Nintendo is working on something that has to do with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yes, I read that right. Zelda Breath of the Wild, the 2017 Nintendo game. So what the heck does any of that mean? Okay, Max, Breath of the Wild is done. It came out in 2017. What else are they going to do to it? Well, let me read here. So this information, this rumor, comes from video game leaker called Midori. Now, Midori, I'm not as familiar with as someone like Puro, who's that bird that leaks everything, right? So what I have found out is that Midori is credible with giving Nintendo info, Sega stuff, Persona stuff. Midori has a lot of credibility in the scene. Look it up for yourself if you need to, but I felt it was credible enough to bring on the podcast. And I believe Puro even follows Midori, and Puro is a very good leaker, so kind of adds to the credibility. But either way, all right, here's where the info stems from. So Midori put out a tweet saying this, quote, "There is a project at Nintendo with the code name U-King-O. If you have no idea what that means, I'll tell you in a second. It might be related to the rumors of the next Nintendo console code name." So the main chunk of that tweet that we have to dissect is the code name for whatever they're working on. And the code name for this game is U-King-O. Now, let me tell you this. U-King is the code name at Nintendo for Zelda Breath of the Wild. They're working on something called U-King-O. And U-King is Breath of the Wild. So they're doing something with Breath of the Wild. But here's the catch here. Here's what that O means at the end of the code name. Whenever Nintendo makes any kind of port, they always attach a letter after the game's original code name. So I was reading a GoNintendo.com article, and they used a great analogy. When Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was being made, the code name, I believe, was Kinopio, which I think means toad in Japanese, right? But when it was being ported, it was codenamed Kinopio-S, meaning switch. So Midori and the people online believe the O at the end of U-King means whatever the Switch 2 is. Whatever the Switch 2 is going to be, its console letter is O. So what this means is Breath of the Wild Switch 2 is something that is being worked on. I hope I made that super simple. But that's essentially the rumor here. And this is not crazy to hear because I believe was it late last year? I think so. We heard about Nintendo showing off the Switch 2, whatever it is, at Gamescom to developers. It was a very private showing. And apparently, the rumor says they showed off a better version of Breath of the Wild. So I don't know if this really means that we're going to get a Breath of the Wild 4K and it runs at 60 frames per second. I don't know what this means, but it's a credible enough rumor to report on. What shouldn't happen is I'm fine with a Breath of the Wild 4K. That would be cool, right? Get a little replay action in there. That's not a launch title. You don't launch with a Breath of the Wild port. I mean, no one's really gonna be excited for that because it's the same game. It's the exact same game. We can assume that. Just better graphics. I don't know. Why even make that a port? Why even port the second newest Zelda game? It doesn't need one yet. Port Twilight Princess. Make Twilight Princess 4K. Make Wind Waker 4K. I don't know why they're doing this. But either way, that's out there. However, keep in mind, that is a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. Once again, not as familiar with Midori, but apparently they have a lot of credibility. So I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying it's enough to report on the podcast. Our next piece of news here, let's see what it is. Oh, guys, this is a spicy one. I saw this piece of news actually yesterday, but I didn't know if it was worthy of reporting until I found something else out today. And I was like, oh yeah, that's making the podcast. So the next piece of news here reads, Walmart is canceling Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door pre-orders because of Nintendo. Is it because of Nintendo they're doing that? So let me go ahead. Let's find my notes I have so written about this topic. So if you have pre-ordered a copy of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door to be delivered from Walmart, you may or may not have just had your pre-order canceled. This is happening to a lot of people. Not everyone, but it seems like a lot of people online. They're canceling pre-orders for the game. Now, why are they doing that? Well, it's kind of weird. Nintendo is apparently the reason. Because Walmart sent out an email to people whose pre-orders were canceled, and they were like, hey, listen, guys, it's not our fault. They said, and I quote, Nintendo will only be offering this item in stores. That is what that's what Walmart said. And by the way, that makes no sense at all. Makes no sense. I don't truly think Nintendo told Walmart, hey, only sell this item in stores. I don't believe that, but that's what Walmart is telling people. They're saying, hey, listen, guys, Mario called us on the phone and he said, listen, Mamma Mia, don't sell the game online. Apparently, that's what's happening here. Now, Walmart's great. I don't really love Walmart, guys. Like, if I'm going shopping for groceries, I mean, Walmart's cool. They have great stock, but I'm going to freaking Target. If you have a Target near you, I mean, if you're in the US, rather, I like Target better, right? But Walmart is giving out a $25 coupon if you did get your pre-order canceled. That's a hefty coupon, by the way. That's a big coupon. Go buy like, I mean, that's almost half off a Switch game. I mean, like that's freaking good, right? So, and depending on which game you buy, that's a free Switch game for you. So Walmart coming in clutch. However, the big exclamation here is Nintendo only wanting this game to be sold in stores? If you're asking me, I think absolutely not. I imagine most of their sales on physical games come from Amazon, come from Walmart online, come from Target, delivery. I don't imagine this is like, a store exclusive. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they ran out of stock. I don't know if there's mixed messages. But I can tell you one thing. I have my copy pre-ordered from Best Buy. And they ain't canceled on me yet. They did not cancel on me. So if you're looking for a pre-order spot, Best Buy is a safe bet, and GameStop is always a safe bet. I don't like GameStop. I have bad experiences with them, but for launch day copies, they're pretty freaking good. They're pretty good about it. So next piece of news. Oh boy, guys, can you imagine just waking up? It's a fine Friday, right? Oh, pre-order canceled. Can't buy the new game next week. That's gotta suck, dude. That's like the worst email. You're looking forward to it all week. You have, hard school work and hard work and, no game this week. That sucks. But anyways, guys. Oh wait, the next piece of news that I just pulled out of the hat is the Breath of the Wild one that we went over. So let's throw that one away. Let's get our next piece of news here. Our next actual piece of news. We have another rumor. Very similar to our first piece of news. Can you believe it, guys? Can you believe it? I know you are just listening to this podcast in a car with some headphones on or on your car speaker, driving to the gym or McDonald's. Those are two very different destinations. Or you're sitting at home. Would you ever expect me to read this piece of news? Rumor. Nintendo is working on a game focused on Zelda herself. This game will apparently star Zelda herself. Alrighty, let me pull up my notes. So this rumor comes from another credible leaker that I was actually also not familiar with, which is weird because I'm normally kind of in tune with these leaks, but I wasn't even familiar with this. So The leaker here is named Papa Genos on Twitter. And I actually, with Midori, I kind of took everyone's word for like, okay, this person is trustworthy. I actually went and dug out a couple of Papa Genos' old tweets, and he's been right. I've seen it with my own eyes. He was right about Mario vs. Donkey Kong, right about Metroid Prime Remastered, and more. I actually saw this one, so I can believe this guy. Now, will this rumor come true? I don't know. But this is the tweet that Papa Genos has put out on Twitter, okay? Quote, Tears of the Kingdom had a great Zelda design. I think we are severely overdue for a game where Zelda is the main character. Seems to me a Hyrule adventure like that is something that fans want. Now is the time. Now, that could just be a simple tweet, a simple opinion that he puts on Twitter, okay? Max, why are you making a big deal out of this? He just put out a tweet saying that he thinks Zelda should get her own game. Well, it's hard for me to explain the evidence of this tweet on a podcast. When I talk on this podcast, you cannot hear if I'm using capital letters or lowercase letters. What I mean by that is in this tweet from Papa Genos, he capitalized very random letters, okay? For example, he starts the tweet with the word tears. Tears is capital. And then when he says Tears of the Kingdom, the K is the K in Kingdom is lowercase, which it should be capital because it's a title of a game. And then randomly, so the tweet says Tears of the Kingdom had is capitalized for no reason. Had should not be capitalized mid-sentence. So they've went and capitalized random letters in this tweet. And if you take every single randomly not supposed to be capitalized letter in this tweet, guess what it spells out? It spells out, this is a hint. Him indirectly saying, this tweet is a hint. And the tweet is him saying, Zelda should get her own game. Are we going to get a game focused on Zelda only? Could you imagine like Ganon steals Link in Zelda? Bro, it would really be The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Link? Dude, we're going to get Legend of Link launch title on Nintendo Switch 2. Look out for it. But yeah, that's a very subtle way to drop a hint. You just capitalize random letters and like they mean something. It's a more creative way than I've seen before. Very cool, but that is a rumor, not confirmed. We might be getting The Legend of Link 2025. It would be similar to like Princess Peach Showtime, right? I would take it. I would play it. I just don't know like what you even do with her. Like save Link, like that's all that you can do. I don't know. I'm not sure what you do with her. Anyways, next piece of news here. If you ever hear this sound, guys, that's me just shaking the hat and looking for some new news. All right. What is this piece of news? Oh, snap. I actually got very excited for this piece of news right here. 3 Game Boy games have been added to Nintendo Switch Online, my friends. Listen, I am very much one that gets excited when new Switch Online retro games come to the Switch Online servers. I get freaking excited, okay? And this one was no different. So, there's 1 game here that you'll probably be hyped for, and 2 that you won't be hyped for, but you should be hyped for, because they're basic games, but they're very fun. So, the first one, what you will probably be excited for, is Super Mario Land is now available to play on the Game Boy Nintendo Switch Online. You do not need the expansion pack for any of these games. These are the base membership Game Boy games. Super Mario Land, classic 2D, of course, there's no 3D. 2D Mario game on the Game Boy. A lot of people don't like it, including me. I mean, I give it flack, but like for its time, it was pretty fun. They give it flack because it's not a great Mario game, but you got to understand, this was on the Game Boy, and I have to understand that too. I have a problem giving it heat and flack and stuff like that. It's a cool game for its time. Mario Land is on Game Boy, Switch Online, and 2 other games. The other 2, one is Alleyway. Alleyway sounds like a boring game, and trust me, I thought it was too, until I got into it. I was playing me some Alleyway yesterday, and if you don't know what it is, it's essentially, it's hard to explain, but you have a bar at the bottom that you control, and a ball bounces on the bar, and you have to, like, deflect it so it goes up and, like, breaks a bunch of blocks above you. If that makes any sense, you control a bar at the bottom, you hit the ball, it goes up and it breaks blocks, and you have to keep on hitting the ball. It's like ping pong almost. That's kind of what Alleyway is. I would actually, bro, I would recommend it. It's a very simple game, but like I sat there for maybe like 15 minutes, which is it's not a long time, but I was like doing other stuff too. I sat there for longer than I should have playing Alleyway. It's a blast. Baseball is the other Game Boy online game. I'm not really gonna be playing this a whole lot. Baseball though, if you like baseball, if you like Game Boy, and if you like Game Boys and baseball, that's a fit for you. Classic baseball game. I believe Mario's in it, so try them out. There's no risk. If you have Switch Online, it's totally free. Try it. See what happens. Next piece of news coming right up. I get really excited when new Switch Online games come out. Like even like the freaking N64 games that came out, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, the Iggy's Wrecking Ball one and that racing thing. I was kind of hyped. I was like, let's try them out. It was kind of cool. Next piece of news here. We have another rumor. I just realized, guys, we have 4 rumors in this podcast. We already did 2. We have another rumor. Guess who it comes from? Midori, who we can trust. Rumor. Nintendo is working on the next Mario Party game. Now, at first hearing that piece of news, you might think, well, Max, that was pretty obvious. I would be concerned if they were not making a brand new Mario Party game. But we have definitive, what seems to be pretty definitive proof of this. So, comes from Midori once again. And once again, give incredible info on Nintendo, Sega, Persona, stuff like that. So, they have announced, or reported rather, that a new game at Nintendo has a codename Banquet. Okay. Yeah, let's just call our next Mario Party game Banquet. So you might sit there and think, Max, it's called Banquet. What makes you think that's a Mario Party? Let me explain. This game is being developed by ND Cube and Smile Boom. Now, the big one to focus on there is ND Cube. ND Cube is a game development company, and I am pulling out my phone right now. And do it with me, guys. Search up right now, if you're not busy, ND Cube Games. ND and then Cube. I'm gonna go to their Wikipedia page, which I was always told in school that you can't use Wikipedia as a source. Bro, it's like always accurate. You're like, come on now. So if you go to the games section, you can see what games ND Cube has made. Let's read what they've made in recent times. So let's go 2010 until now. Wii Party, Wii Play Motion, Mario Party 9, Wii Party U, Mario Party Island Tour, Mario Party 10, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, Mario Party Star Rush, Mario Party The Top 100, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, Super Mario Party, Clubhouse Games, 51 Worldwide Classics, Mario Party Superstars, and Everybody Want to Switch. Now, you might have noticed a common theme there. I think literally almost every single one of those is a party game. And not just that, they are very, very known for making Mario Party games in recent times. I would bet my life savings whatever this Banquet game is a Mario Party game. It's made by ND Cube, who makes party stuff. Do you know what I would love for it to be? Do you know what I would absolutely love? Screw Mario Party. Make a new Wii Party. Dude, that would be the move. Guys, actually, comment down below if you're on a platform that can leave comments. If you can comment down below. Would you actually rather a new Mario Party or a Wii Party? I'm not gonna lie. If I could only choose one, I might freaking choose Wii Party. And the only reason, like, if it was life or death, I'd probably pick Mario Party. But there's less Wii Party games than there are Mario Party games, obviously, and Wii Party is a freaking blast. Call it Switch Party. I'm surprised we did not even get a Switch Party game on the Switch. I mean, it's not too late. It's still alive, but like, why not make a Wii Party game for Switch? It makes no sense. I'm not saying this is a Wii Party game, but they did make Wii Party, and ND Cube did. Listen, it's probably a new Mario Party game, and that's the big rumor. But new party game in development at Nintendo. Come on, Switch Party. Come on, Smile Boom. I don't know much about Smile Boom being a developer or much like that. But ND Cube's working on it. We got a party game in development, my friends. Good times. I'm still playing music from this morning on my phone. Let's go ahead and close my Spotify. Okay, there we go. Cool. There was no audio, but it was on mute. All right, next piece of news. Let's go ahead and let's grab this one. Let's see what this one is. Any Mario movie fans? Are there any Mario movie fans listening? Go ahead and raise your hand. Unless you're driving. That would be pretty hard to do. If you're in the gym, listening to this, raise your hand. Just expect weird looks. All right, anyways, our piece of news reads, Chris Pratt, we all know that name, says he expects lots of Nintendo movies. And if anybody knew what to expect from Nintendo making movies, it would be Chris Pratt. So, we do have a very professional quote from Chris Pratt, and I have failed to get the source of where this comes from. So, whoever interviewed Chris Pratt, please take it easy on me. I do not have your name. I'll credit you in the description. If you want to know where any of my info comes from, there's a link down below called Sources and Links. Click that, you'll see all the sources. All right, Chris Pratt has told somebody, some outlet, quote, I can't tell you much, but I can say that there is another Mario movie coming. We knew that, right? It gets me very excited thinking about the world of Mario and Nintendo in general. I think over the next decade, we will be seeing lots of stories coming out of that world. I was thrilled, honored, and blessed to be part of the first one, and moving forward, I'm open to doing as much and as little as they want from me. I can't say much, but I am just as excited as everyone else. He imagines a lot of movies coming from Nintendo, probably from Illumination, all these people. It's great. We want more Nintendo movies. If you are a Nintendo fan, this is only good news for you. And if anybody would know, if we have some more, Nintendo movies, it would be Chris Pratt, I feel. He's Mario after all, so that's very exciting. We want more movies. We're probably going to get them. As we do know, Mario Movie 2 comes out in, April of 2026? April, right? It was April, or was it March? I think it was April. That was like 2 months ago. April 2026, Mario Movie 2. For people holding out for the Zelda movie, God. We're probably not going to get the Zelda movie until like late 2026. Dude, that's terrible, by the way. That's so far away. Anyways, we only have a couple of pieces of news left. Let's go ahead and let's pick out this one. Let's see what this one says. Nintendo New York, for any of my New Yorkers out there, is holding a party for Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. Now, what does that entail? Even if you're not in New York or from New York or even in the US, you'll want to listen to this because it's rather interesting, especially the end of it. All right. So, on launch day for Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, May 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Mario will be at the store. So if you're going there to pick up your copy on launch day, you can snap a little photo with Mario, the mascot, if you would like. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities to be doing that, but if you never have before, there's your time. And also, Saturday, May 25th, 2024, at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the actual party. So that's when, I don't know what's going on. They did not detail what's going to go on at that party, but I'm trying to predict, what are they even going to be doing? Like making paper airplanes? That would be sick. If there are any Nintendo New York employees, listening that are scrambling, trying to figure out what they want to do at this party on Saturday, have everyone make a paper airplane, and whoever can throw it farthest wins a free copy of the game. Oh yeah, do that. That's how you sell copies, man. That's how you get people to come to the party. Just don't tell people that beforehand, because then people will practice making paper airplanes. So do it cautiously, all right? Anyways, guys, the tail end of that piece of news, we're going to give away our $5 Nintendo eShop card right now. It's so great. Woohoo. Woohoo. Awesome sauce. Go ahead, grab your Switch, turn on your eShop. Now, if the code does not work for you, somebody probably beat you to it. But if you do redeem this code, comment down below. $5 eShop code. Sorry, this is for the US. I apologize. I love my UK, my Australia, my Canada listeners. I don't think I can buy a UK, Australia, or Canada card. I can buy one, but dude, the lowest UK card is $15. I can't do that every week. Maybe I'll do it at some point, but for now, it's mainly US cards because they're very cheap. And if you're wondering why there was not one last week, Amazon stopped selling them, so I was like, where the heck do I buy one? So this week's card is from Best Buy, so I found a workaround. Anyways, sorry to stall. The code is E0YCQMPX Put that in your Switch, and you will get $5 eShop credit. If you do get it, don't just tell me, but comment down below what you're going to buy with it. Are you going to save it up and maybe tell me what you might buy with it? Even if you're not, spending it right now, it's always good to save money. Tell me what you might want to buy with it in the future. I would love to know. With that said, our next piece of news here, let's go ahead and let's grab it. Let's grab this one. This one's become unfolded. All right, let's see this one. Our final rumor of the day. LEGO is reportedly working on a Big Boy Legend of Zelda LEGO set. And what is the set? The set is the Great Deku Tree. Max, why should I care about this? Let me tell you. Okay, so it's not very often that LEGO makes a set as big as this one. Now, this rumor comes via a LEGO blog called Bricktastic, and they've leaked tons of LEGO sets, including Nintendo ones. And let me just tell you guys, to assure you a bit more that this info is probably true, this LEGO blog does not care to be a Nintendo leaker. They're a LEGO leaker. So, they would probably believe in this pretty confidently if they're going to report it. What am I trying to say here? They're not trying to throw something out there to be a Nintendo leaker. They're very established in the LEGO community. That's what I'm trying to say here. And so guess what? A LEGO set of the Great Deku Tree is probably being worked on. And here are the deets. Here are the details. So, this LEGO set is massive. It'll be 2,500 pieces. Now, if you don't know, that's a freaking long time. That'll take you 8 hours to build, if not more. That's a lot. Probably more than 8 hours, to be honest, because, dude, that's a big freaking set. The price is not something that you'll like. The price is said to be $325. That's a conversion. I think it's going to be 300 euros. And 325 is a weird Lego price. I wouldn't be shocked if they bumped that to like 350. So 350 probably is your price. And it'll not only include the Great Deku Tree, it'll include a minifigure of the classic Link, Young Link, Breath of the Wild Link, and Breath of the Wild Zelda, along with a Hylian Shield and an Ocarina. Now, this set is set to release on September 1st, 2024. So look forward to it. I would imagine because it's such a big set, they would announce it probably... What's it, May? It's almost June. I would say next month would be prime because, bro, September is what, the 9th month? June is the 6th. That's a 3-month gap. 3 months of promotion. I would imagine if it's actually real, an announcement next month. Yeah, that sounds pretty timely. However, always remember that is a rumor, not confirmed. We might never get a Great Deku Tree set. Who knows? It's a rumor. We have 2 more pieces of news. I know one of them. Actually, sorry, 3 pieces of news left. We have 3. Let's read this one. Oh my gosh. I forgot. I freaking forgot about this piece of news right here. All right, guys. Take me seriously when I say this, all right? Professional MMA fighters over the past week stopped a Pokemon card thief. So this made headlines over the past week here. A couple of professional fighters saw a Pokemon card thief and stopped him. So here's all the deets. This happened in Miami, Florida. Some criminal went to a Pokemon card store and, they were looking at some cards. They were like, oh, I like that one. I like this one. And they asked if they could see them up close. And that's always a red flag when you're showing somebody expensive cards. You have to watch them real close. And apparently, bro was not watched very close because he ended up stealing the card that he wanted and another card that was tied to the card that he wanted. So all in all, he's running away right now with 2 Pokemon cards. And these cards in total were worth somewhere near $30,000 to $40,000. That's serious robbery, okay? And so what happened was, bro runs out the store. The employee's chasing him. Bro's running to, I would assume, his car or something. And these 2 MMA fighters, which is just, professional fighters, were pulling up in their car, probably leaving somewhere. They were just pulling up, and they see this guy running with the 2 Pokemon cards. They get out the car. They don't beat him up, but they hold him down until the police get there. What a story. And so bro got arrested, and yeah, he's done for. But they got the Pokemon cards back. I believe they were not damaged or anything. Yeah, props to these 2 fighters. I don't know who they are. I don't think that they're like big time. No offense, but like that's a cool little story. You love things like that. You gotta love things like that. It's great. But that happened over the past week. We got 2 more pieces of news left. I know one of them, but I forget. Oh yeah, this one. I thought we would get into this one a little bit earlier, actually. GameStop will start buying and selling graded Pokemon cards. Okay, wow. Wow. So this piece of news began as a rumor over the past week. This was a rumor for a little while until GameStop confirmed it, I believe, just about 3 days ago. So that's what, Tuesday? They confirmed it on Tuesday, May 14th, which was actually 2 days after the 1-year anniversary of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So, kudos to that. Anyways, they're going to start buying and selling graded Pokemon cards. Now, there is a criteria here. By the way, before I get into the whole criteria, this is an interesting move for GameStop. I always like to see what they're going to do to try and right the ship and try to stay alive and try to make some moolah. And this is what they've come to. So, if you have a graded Pokemon card and you want to trade it in, which I would advise, why would you do that? You can trade it in under these circumstances. Number one, it must be graded by the Professional Sports Authenticator, PSA. It must be a PSA graded card. It must be graded an 8 or higher. So it's got to be. They ain't buying no ripped up trash Garbaggio 1 rated cards, right? And it will not be accepted if it is worth more than $500. Bro, you can't bring your freaking... Logan Paul can't bring his $5 million Charizard or whatever to GameStop. They don't have that kind of money. they don't have it. So it's got to be worth $500 or less. And if you want to trade it in, you can now. Now, I don't believe every single store is taking Pokemon cards, because when I looked at the tweet, it said like only available in Connecticut, Texas. I have no idea. It's only in a few states, not in my home state, I don't think. So you got to travel if you want to trade in your Pokemon cards. I don't know why all stores can't do it. Maybe, no, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe they're like slowly like rolling it out. I don't know. Either way, that's going down. GameStop trying to right the ship. And our final piece of news, I actually know what this is, so I can go ahead and read it to you before I even open it up. I guarantee you, this piece of news says, new Nintendo Switch Online icons have been added to Switch Online. All right, let's see it. Yep, new Nintendo Switch Online icons have been released. Let's go ahead, let's run through what they are. My mouse is a Bluetooth mouse, so I can't... It takes a minute to like scroll down my document. Okay, here we go. So, very quick little details here. Tears of the Kingdom Zelda icons have been re-released. Now, Nintendo tweeted this. They were like, hey, 1 year anniversary. These icons are back. And it said, in case you missed it on the actual graphics. So I assume, based on them saying, in case you missed it, these were released at some point in time, probably when the game released. And you know, now they're back, and you can pick them up now if you would like. And also, Endless Ocean Luminous, the third wave of Endless Ocean Luminous icons have been released. If you want my update on that game, by the way, I reported on Endless Ocean Luminous, 2 weeks ago? And I said that I liked it, but it's not a game for everyone. I'm not gonna lie, I have not played Endless Ocean in like a week. I'm not going back to it because, like, honestly, like, they did some event Wednesday. It was like, come dive with us or whatever. I didn't log on, bro. Like, I don't know what Nintendo can do. I applaud their efforts, but I really I don't know what they can do to really bring people back to playing Endless Ocean Luminous. Like, Splatoon has the Splatfest. Oh, by the way, Splatfest tonight. Splatfest this weekend for Splatoon 3. They have the Splatfest, and so I'm gonna play some Splatoon 3 tonight after I edit my podcast and do a skit for the main channel. I'm gonna play the Splatoon 3 Splatfest. They have a way to keep you coming back to that game. But for Endless Ocean Luminous, I need to see some freaking events in that game. Even with like Mario Strikers Battle League, that game sucked. I like the game and it plays well, but there's no like story mode, there's no content there. You need to make some real intriguing in-game events if you want anybody to actually come back to these games. I like Mario Strikers Battle League. It just doesn't have enough content. And as of now, I've not played it in like a few months because there's nothing to keep me coming back. You need reasons to keep people coming back to your game. Now, I understand, you know, the whole Mario Strikers, Endless Ocean Luminous ship has sailed. You have everyone's money already. You don't have to do anything. But if the goal is to increase playtime of your fans, you'd want to add some real intriguing stuff. Maybe what they should have done with Endless Ocean is like, hey, here's some fish that you can only get with these events, you know, and they would run the event like once a month. And they do have some fish. They had some event where it was like, you can find rare fish in this event. I'm talking like event exclusive fish, or even like fish variants. Like, bro, hire me, Nintendo, please. I'm like giving you ideas, but all right, that's it. That's the Nintendo news, but the show is far from over, guys. Our first segment, that is not the news segment, or not the intro, I want to talk about this. Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door, comes out next week. It's great. People love it. Cult classic game. I don't know if I want the remake or the original game. And it's a real juicy thing. I seriously don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm going to talk to you about it. And I want you to let me know, based on what I'm about to say, should I play the remake or the original? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into that. And then we'll get into the 5 things Nintendo Switch 2 needs to be great. Let's get into the Paper Mario random talk stuff. Let's go. Listen, guys, for the most part, I know what you're thinking. Max, you should obviously buy the remake. It's going to be in cool HD, and it's going to be the best Paper Mario ever. Listen, I don't know whether I want to buy the Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door original or the remake. And the clear answer is a remake. But I really wanted to make this whole thing a segment because I am so incredibly lost and I'm looking for some sort of relatability. If you also feel this way, please let me know because I feel like I've been spiraling, not knowing which one to play. Every single day, I'm like, okay, I'm playing the original. And then the next day, I see a new trailer for the remake, and I'm like, all right, I want to play the remake. I don't know. So for some context, I recently just beat Paper Mario N64. And so now I've never played 1,000-Year Door, and I want to play it so I can experience it, but I don't know how, remake or original. Now, the obvious answer is Max. It's being remade right now. You'll want to be a part of this. Play the remake. Here's my only couple things with the remake. So, I will admit, yes, I am part of the people who somewhat have a problem with the game, with the remake being 30 frames per second. If you don't know what 30 FPS is, it just means the game's a bit more choppier, right? It's choppier. It's not as smooth. I don't really love the fact the game is 30 frames per second. I don't love that the remake is 30 and the original is 60 frames per second. What I also don't love is that while most of the game is going to be faithful to the original and most of that remake will be the same, it'll be the same old Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door that you know. I've already seen comparison videos that show the remake and the original side by side, and they're changing a lot of dialogue. Now, the most popular piece of dialogue that has changed with 1,000-Year Door that we've seen so far is that instead of Bowser calling you an airhead, he calls you a lunkhead in the remake. I'm not saying I would rather have Bowser call me an airhead by playing the original game, but I'm saying if they're changing slightly offensive terms, dude, I want to play the original because that game is probably more offensive. That's pure Nintendo. That's 2004 Nintendo right there. Not to mention, I also really want to play the original game. One, I like the GameCube controller. And two, I really like playing old Nintendo games. Not very old. I can't really get into like NES, SNES stuff. But like old as in older, like 2000s, 1990, stuff like that, right? I really like playing GameCube era stuff, N64 era stuff. I can get behind that, you know? And I feel like the Switch version, it's going to be great and I'm going to buy it. But like, in some ways, people might prefer the original on the GameCube. And that's what I kind of want to play. The only thing ever swaying me to play this remake is the fact that it's being remade after 20 years. So I don't know what I want to play. I want you all, if you're on a platform that can comment or tweet at me, my Twitter is at the EmSwizzle. Tell me something. What do you think I should do? Play the remake, which is 30 frames per second, looks pretty faithful in full HD. It's totally remade. It totally looks brand new. Everything is modernized. Or do I play the original, which is the, first of all, original that everyone loves, 60 frames per second, on a classical GameCube controller, has that 2000s nostalgic feel because that's when the game was made. Do I play that or do I play the remake? I really don't know, and I had to make this whole discussion a segment. I know you're probably listening like, Max, it sounds like you should play the original then. And I might just do it. My problem is, they're remaking the game. I don't know what to do. I am always, when a game gets remade or remastered, I am always the kind of guy to play the remade and remastered version because it's always the same. I have never really been so on the fence, remake or original, when deciding which version of a game I want to play. I really don't know what to do. This game, this remake, is going to be so faithful to the original Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Probably. We haven't played it yet, but probably, right? So I can get my fix that way. I can be part of the Switch hype. Or I can do a little, nostalgia trip to the 2000s and play Paper Mario for the GameCube. I don't know what the heck I want to do. And it might be a game time decision. It might be a serious thing where I get Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remake and the GameCube one in my hands and be like, all right, which one do I want to play? It might seriously have to be that way. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I want to know if anyone else feels like that. Because while Thousand Year Door is 20 years old, it's older than I am, right? Like, I've never played it. So now it's like, which one do you play? I think, and here's my other problem. I was going to wait and see what the reviews say. I was going to see and wait to see what all of the critics say. Guys, it's Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. No one's giving that game below like an 80 on the review scores or whatever. Do you think IGN is going to give it anything below a 9 out of 10? No way. Like, so I can't wait for review scores because they're all going to be like, oh yeah, greatest game of all time. Like, I can't. I have no idea what to do. Remake or original? Which one is better? I have no idea. Bro, I was so down bad, I asked ChatGPT and it didn't give me a definitive answer. Hey Siri. Should I play Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door remake or original? No, shut up. Don't play any songs or anything. Guys, no one can help me out here. It's a lonely road. Siri can't help me. ChatGPT. I need you all. Help me down below. This is probably the funniest segment. No, that's not true. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know what to play. I had to come on here and talk about it though, because like this has been consuming my entire life for the past month. I have just been at a loss for what to play. So I need opinions and I need them now. With that said, let's go ahead and let's dive into the main topic of the podcast today. And that is 5 things the Nintendo Switch 2 needs to be awesome sauce. Let's go. Guys, we honestly have to worry just a little bit because Nintendo Switch 2, it's something. Whenever Nintendo makes a successor to a console, this goes one of 2 ways. It either flops, like the Wii U, or it does decent, keeping the company afloat, like the 3DS if the Wii U didn't exist. They were losing money during the Wii U and 3DS era, but like if they just had that, they would have been like 3DS was pretty on par with what it should have done, right? This goes one of two ways. And after all these trials and tribulations, to use some big words here, Nintendo needs to get the Switch 2 right. And it's not too late to change anything. So, if Shigeru Miyamoto is listening, if the Nintendo CEO is listening to my very podcast, I would love to know the chances of that actually happening. Probably 0. Listen, bro, I'm giving you some tips, all right? I have chosen 5 things the Switch 2 needs. And these are not like, it needs good power. It needs to be different. I've chosen, let's see, I would say 3 pretty unique things and 2 things that are popular features that it should have, but I agree with. I've chosen some pretty cool things the Switch 2 needs. And if it doesn't have these, I'm not saying that it can't succeed, but I would really like these to be on Switch 2. All right, let's begin with the first one. I've ranked these from like, we kind of need it to we really need it. So let's start with the first one that we kind of need, that I have noticed. And you might not agree with me, but I really feel this one a lot. My first feature that Switch 2 needs is a better battery life. Okay. Let me tell you, you're going to be running some games. Now, if the rumors are true, the Nintendo Switch 2 will run games at 1080p handheld mode, which is pretty quality, I can't lie. That's like Steam Deck almost. You're going to be running some pretty intense games. Not crazy intense, but like decently intense, right? And a problem that I already have with my Switch is I feel like, I get in a car, I'm on a road trip, and I'm in the backseat. I'm playing Nintendo Switch, right? I'll get on maybe Animal Crossing New Horizons, Splatoon, which are actually like 2 of the more heavier games on the Switch. But like I feel like before I know it, my battery's at like 62%, and I've only played for maybe half an hour. That's not, no. More like 45 minutes. Is that right? Like, bro, do I have a faulty battery, or does my battery drain so fast? I don't know what it is. I feel like the battery life's not as good as it could be. Now, we don't really, if it doesn't have a good battery, this won't make or break the entire console, but I would really love to see a better battery. I feel like mine died so much, or at least drains fast. I'm normally the kind of guy that can, plug it in if it gets low, but it just drains, dude. It actually drains. It's a lot. So I would say first improvement you need on Switch 2 is a better battery life. Let me know if you agree with that one, or if your battery is just fine. I don't know. I mostly play in docked mode, so it's not like an issue that keeps on coming up. But when I do play handheld, I'm like, dude, already? Like 40%'s gone. Like, whatever anyways. But my next not feature, this is a thing. These are games. My next thing that the Switch 2 needs to have is something at launch. This honestly could be make or break for Switch 2. Better, strong launch titles. Okay, so the Nintendo Switch launched with Breath of the Wild, Zelda, 1-2 Switch, and some other games like Bomberman, Snipper Clips, things like that, right? I honestly think so. I've said this multiple times. If you look back at GameCube, Wii U, whatever, right? They most of the time, no, all the time, every single time, launch with either a Mario game or a Zelda game. Switch 2 will not launch with a Zelda game because Tears of the Kingdom just came out a little over a year ago. You're launching with the Mario title. I think whatever this Mario title is, it must be brand new. I don't know that you can launch with a Mario Odyssey 2. I think whatever the game is needs to be very accessible. You don't have to play Mario Odyssey 1 to get Mario Odyssey 2. I wouldn't even have 2 in the title. So, it needs very good launch titles. And you're asking me, Max, your name and it needs a strong Mario game. What would you launch the Switch 2 with? Here's what I would launch Switch 2 with. Your main game that you push is going to be Mario. Get a Super Bowl commercial for Switch 2 and showcase the new Mario game in there. You need, assuming that the Switch 2 has some pretty cool features, make something, don't make Nintendo Land, don't make like a Wii Party, but make a party game. Yeah, kind of like a Wii Party. Make a party game like Nintendo Land. Because while the Wii U kind of flopped, really flopped, a game like Nintendo Land is loved by people who have never even played the game. That game is so Nintendo and it looks like so much fun. You need to make something as fun as Nintendo Land on the next console and make it based around like, this is what the Switch 2 can do. It has these motion controls and it has this microphone, blow into the microphone to play the game. Whatever, right? It needs to have some sort of tech demo. And because this is a Switch 2 and it's going to be a bit of a harder sell than like the Switch was at launch, you need one more banger. You need some sort of pizzazz to really kick off this next console. And I wouldn't actually mind what I'm about to say here. I know it sounds like a lot at launch. I know it sounds like a lot. I know this sounds overwhelming. Max, they would never put out this game at launch because they already have a Mario game. If you launch Switch 2 with Mario, a party game that shows off the features, and a double pack of Zelda Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, that is gotta be the best launch for any console ever. Ever. The reason why I think you need to launch with a Zelda, Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker is because that game is so in demand right now. If you put it exclusively on Switch 2, people will die for that. People will be knocking people out in line at midnight at Walmart to buy a Switch 2. That's the freaking double pack. That's it. Do that. Strongest launch ever. Now, I'm fully expecting them to reveal that Twilight Princess Wind Waker at this June Direct this year. But like, why not? At this point, it's so high in demand. Make it Switch 2 exclusive. It's not high effort. It's just HDFI, and that's it. Cool. Done. Sick. Awesome. You need good launch titles because when someone wants to buy Switch 2 on launch, they're like, oh, what are the games for it? If you say, oh yeah, we have Animal Crossing New Horizons HD, Mario Party 10 HD, just terrible launch titles. I mean, those are both great games. Not everyone thinks Mario Party 10 is a great game, but I liked it. Those are great games, but if you bring ports over only, like those are not good launch titles. Bring good launch titles. People will like them. Do it. My third thing that Switch 2 needs, you cannot make a successor to a Nintendo console like a 3DS, like a Wii U, like a Switch 2, and not have backwards compatibility. Backwards compatibility needs to happen. Now, what I would like to happen, and this would really sell Switch 2, is if they not only had backwards compatibility with Switch cartridges, but if they made them look better on Switch 2. If your Switch game was, 1080p, what if the Switch 2 could play those games at 4K? Dude, you would be all in. You would be all in. Oh, Mom, I want the Switch 2 because it can run Zelda Tears of the Kingdom better than my Switch 1 can. There's a reason. All the people who like Switch 1 now have a reason to upgrade. If you don't give them a reason to upgrade, I mean, you're giving them many reasons, but you have to help them transition. Little Jimmy is upset because his Animal Crossing game runs at 30 frames per second. Imagine on Switch 2, it's 60. You now want to buy a Switch 2 because all the games that you love and that you bought a Switch for, all the games 140 million people bought a Switch for, now look better. All these loved games, Mario Kart, 50 million copies or whatever, now look better on Switch 2. I think that's a big selling point. You can easily work that into your marketing. Switch 2 backwards compatibility must happen. Next feature it needs. This one sounds very basic, but I must explain to you what I mean by this, okay? I must explain to you what I mean. Sounds basic, but let me explain. My next feature is personality, music, themes, that kind of stuff. Like home menu themes, more music on the system. Now, sounds basic, and yes, it is kind of basic, but I don't just mean adding music to the home screen. I don't just mean adding themes, customizable themes to the home screen. I don't just mean let us add actual, like, real folders on the home screen. I want a sense of community. And I'm not talking Miiverse. You don't have to bring Miiverse back to make me feel more connected. But let me ask you guys something right now. If you turned on a Wii or a Wii U, what do you feel? Especially on Wii U, you turn that thing on, you feel connected. You feel like there's a whole community online playing with you, bro. If you turn on the Wii U, you see all those Miis running out. When you turn on Switch, it's like, oh yeah, let's load up Animal Crossing. It's nice, it's minimalistic, it's neat, it's organized, and it loads fast. But where's the personality? That's a big thing. I saw an Instagram reel the other day talking about freaking nostalgia for the PS4. And guess what it was showing off? It was showing off the home menu music. It was showing off the home menu themes. These are things that create community and personality and charm. You need some of that for the next console. And honestly, if Switch had that, it would probably become my favorite console above the Wii U. I'm not even going to lie. And when I got my Switch on launch day, you know, I was so used to the Wii U and the 3DS charm. I literally got on my Switch and I was like, okay, how do I change the theme? Where's the music? I turned up the volume of my Switch. No music. I was so upset. It's a big thing, dude. You need music. But I'm not just talking music. There's one specific feature that I remember, and it's not a crazy feature, but just for example, something from Pokemon X and Y. Do you guys remember that in that game, on the bottom screen, you could see everyone that was online at the same time as you? Stuff like that is so cool, dude. Stuff like that is so cool. And you know what? I actually have confidence that Nintendo will listen to me and follow what I'm saying there. Because there were leaks for a new Animal Crossing game recently, and I don't really believe them a whole lot, but if those are true, Nintendo was talking about making a whole online-only area for Animal Crossing, the next one or whatever, and you would be able to interact with online players. Online-only area. That was a rumor that might not come true, but that was a thing, right? They're trying to create a sense of community, I guess, with online-only areas potentially being in the next game. I want more community. I want more charm. Bring back funny stuff. When the little robot dude was helping you set up your 3DS, bring that back, bro. Bring back the bits of charm. Bring back home menu music and bring back themes, but also bring back the small things. Size doesn't matter. All right, anyways, finally, a feature Switch 2 needs, and this is make or break, I think, for Nintendo. The final thing the Nintendo Switch 2 needs is a good name. That's it. That's it. It needs a good name. You cannot name this console the Nintendo Switch U and expect it to sell 84.79 million copies. You need a name. You need a good name. You need a compelling name. There was a rumor from a YouTube survey that came out that it would be called the Nintendo Switch Attach. No thanks. No thanks. That sounds like an add-on. That sounds like an optional add-on. You need to name this. Honestly, and I've said this countless times, just name it the Nintendo Switch 2. It easily gets the message across. It sounds more powerful. It sounds like you're doing a brand new thing. I mean, not brand new, but like it's not Switch 1, right? You need a good name. And that sounds stupid like Max. Of course it needs a good name. But imagine a world where there is no good name. Imagine a world where Switch 1 is Switch U. It's called, where Switch 2 is called Switch U. Imagine a world. Switch U is being promoted as a Super Bowl commercial. Imagine a world. The console is not going to do well. No one's going to know that it's a brand new console. It's going to tank. And when it tanks, Nintendo's going to drop support on it. The Wii U only lasted for 5 years? Switch lasted for what? It's on its 7th year? That's not much longer than Wii U. But they wanted to drop Wii U as soon as possible. Because they were losing money. The only real big money makers was Mario Kart and Splatoon, maybe. Those were like the big two. You need a good name. That's make or break for you. That's seriously make or break. That's a make or break for all the consumers. It's not all the consumers, but if like little Jimmy sees Nintendo Switch U, he might not feel the need to put that on his Christmas list for Santa, right? Like he might not know what it is. I can tell you for certain, if I was 5 years old, you know what? This is a better example. I knew that the 3DS at age 5 was a brand new thing, but I did not know the Wii U existed. That tells you a lot. When you make the name known, oh, it's 3DS. It's like a newer thing. And then you call something Wii U, I was like, oh. Yeah, I don't need that. I was serious. I did not know a Wii U existed until my siblings unwrapped it under the Christmas tree. I did not know that it was the actual thing. I had no idea what it was. I was like, oh, it's a new thing? Oh, gamepad? Oh, this is cool. This is very cool. But 3DS, I got like on launch day. Not on launch day. I got it like a few months after launch. I knew what it was. So you need separation. Little Jimmy ain't gonna want your freaking Switch U. You need a great name. But with that said, those are my 5 things that Switch 2 absolutely needs. And I feel I have provided concrete reasons why all of that must happen. But with that said, it is time to get to your favorite segment, the people segment, the answering your questions segment, where you have asked me questions to answer on this very podcast, and I will be doing that right now, right here for you. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. My friends, it is very much so time for the answering your questions segment. You all have asked me questions to answer on this very podcast, and I will be doing that right now. Now, if you want to ask me a question to answer on the show, there are a couple ways to do so. Number one, there's only one way. Sorry, I'm used to saying this way and that way. However, I have phased out the second way. So there's one way to do it. And that is to the best way is to subscribe to my main YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/EmSwizzle, EmSwizzle. And every single Wednesday before noon, I always post, hey, hope everyone's well. I'm taking questions. Episode gets posted on Saturday. Leave your questions below. And the reason why I do it over there and not like Twitter or something is because that's my biggest reach on the internet in a written form. And I've been using that. I've been using that analogy for like the past 2 episodes. So that's my biggest reach. So I do it over there. YouTube.com/@EmSwizzle. Check back Wednesday before noon. It might be like 2 posts ago, but you will find it. It'll have a cursed Nintendo image on there. This week I used a picture of Sheen on Luigi's body as the image for the post. So it's always a treat. But go over there. Subscribe to the main channel if you've not already. You're probably here listening to the podcast from my main channel, but either way. Let's go ahead. Let's get into these questions that you all have asked me. Also, by the way, if you are a channel member, which is similar to Patreon, link down below, you get guaranteed questions if you are the Swizzle Prime tier. So there are multiple members on this question asking thing. Let's go ahead. Our first question is from Let's Go Gaming, who is a channel member. They ask, do you think the new 3D Mario will have traditional Mario power-ups like Mario Galaxy did? Or do you think that it won't, like Odyssey? I wouldn't mind if whatever the game is, like Mario's Fun Time, I wouldn't mind if that game took elements from something like Mario Bros. Wonder. If you could turn into an elephant in the newest 3D Mario game, I don't know if it'll happen. But that would be cool. That would be cool. I would like that. Like taking some elephant power-ups into that game. Maybe add a Wonder Flower in the new 3D Mario. I don't know, because you don't want to take too many elements from Wonder. Tough one. I would probably lean towards no. It probably wouldn't have the traditional power-ups and stuff like that. Yeah, I would lean towards no. But yeah, it'd be cool. I would take 3D Elephant Mario, and that'd be sick. All right, let's scroll down. My mouse does not like to connect. Okay, here we go. Kazoo Classics asks, I must know, what is your ranking of the new Super Mario Bros. Series? Oh, here we go. So we have what? New Super Mario Bros. DS, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, and New Super Mario Bros. 2, right? So we have those 4 games. Oh, God, people are going to hate me. Let me start by saying, before I even rank them, I love all of them. I've beaten all of them. I love all of them. But my ranking is probably going to go, it's going to go like this. Oh, guys, please don't kill me. Oh, please. I'm going to get smashed in the comments. Okay, please listen, hear me out. From worst to best, guys, I'm probably going to have to put Mario DS at 4. Come on, please don't kill me. I love that game. But here's my thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I love the game, but I don't know that I can put it above my number 3 spot. I think I'm going to put Mario Bros. U at the 3. I liked it a little bit better than DS. DS was limited, to say the least. It's on a DS. At number 2, I think I'm going to go... Oh, God. Honestly, at the 2, I'll probably go Mario Bros. Wii, and at the 1, I'll probably put New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the 3DS. I think that's my ranking. I imagine that ranking is very unpopular. What you all probably wanted me to say was Mario Bros. Wii at the 1, Mario Bros. DS at 2, Mario Bros. 2 at the 3, and Mario U at the 4. That's probably like the popular opinion. But no, I that's I'm different. I put Mario Bros. 2 at the number 1 spot. Nuts. Anyways, that's my ranking. Rapidly Vids asks, what is your second favorite 3DS game underneath Animal Crossing New Leaf? Yeah. So if you don't know, my favorite game of all time is Animal Crossing New Leaf for Nintendo 3DS, and Rapidly Vids, what is my second favorite? My second favorite? I mean, probably Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. Let's just call it how it is. It's probably the other Animal Crossing game for 3DS. Besides that, though, because that might be a kind of boring answer for you. Besides that, I know it's on Switch now, but probably Miitopia, dog. Like, bro, Miitopia, when that was coming out for 3DS before it was even on Switch, I was hyped. I had never in my life pre-ordered a game on the eShop. I did in person, never on the eShop until Miitopia was announced. I was like, dude, that game is so sick. And I believe there was a demo for it. I don't know if I played it or not. But I was hyped for freaking Miitopia, dude. I was hyped. And when it came to Switch, I was even more hyped. I was like, yeah, let's freaking replay this thing. Never beat it on Switch, but I did beat it on 3DS. Miitopia was sick, man. So I probably put Miitopia at 3. One game that came to mind, honestly, because I was young when 3DS came out, was Freaky Forms Deluxe. That was a game that I played a lot as a kid, and I still like it now. That game was dope. So either one of those. Peach's Castle asks, if you had to have any Pokemon as a pet, who would it be? So my favorite Pokemon is Stantler, as weird as that is. People don't freaking like Stantler. People do not like him for some reason. I'd probably pick Eevee, because someone like Pikachu, he's cute, but he'd kill you. Eevee seems pretty chill. And Eevee's got some power too, but Eevee seems like Eevee could kind of chill out. I go Eevee. Hamza, channel member Hamza, asks, what was your favorite subject in school? Oh, wow. A personal question. Probably, is PE a subject? Oh, God. I mean, I hated everything, to be honest, but just subjects alone. Like, for example, when I was in middle school, I really liked English because my class was good, but I didn't like English itself. So just subjects, not the class. I think I mostly did not mind going. So I'm not going to count PE as a subject. I'll count health as a subject. Health and PE was like one thing. You would do PE for like one semester or one quarter, and then you would do health for the other quarter. Health was probably, I didn't mind going to health. I didn't like it by any means, but I didn't mind it as much as like science. I hate science or math was tied for like the worst. I didn't understand anything with science. We're like looking under some freaking microscopes or whatever they're called, looking at bugs or whatever. And like math, bro, I can't find X. I to this day, I don't know. I can't find X. I don't know. And they're teaching you like long division. I don't know how to do that either. I don't know. I wasn't good at math. I thought I was. I was in like second grade. Not anymore. I cannot find X for you. I cannot find X. As funny as it is, I can't, like, I talk about how I can't find X, but I say the word X or like the letter X a lot. Like X views, meaning unknown number. I use the term X, but I like find X. I can't do that for you in a math problem, all right? Anyways, I Like Trains, also a channel member, asks, what's your favorite top-down game? Can I Google top-down games? Because I feel like I play a bunch of them, but I do not know what is considered a top-down game. Is Link's Awakening one? Can I Google this? I'm going to Google, and whatever it tells me is probably what it is. Top-down games. Tunic is one that I kind of want to play. Tunic, I want to play. Stardew Valley is a top-down game. Yeah, I pick that one. Stardew Valley. I love Stardew. I pick Stardew Valley as my favorite top-down game. I didn't know that was. I don't know what the heck classifies as a top-down game. I kind of get it, like it's a top-down game, but like there's some things like. I don't know. I didn't think of Stardew as a top-down game. I thought it was like a little pixel art thing. But yeah, it makes sense. It is top-down. I kind of get it now. All right. I vote Stardew. Then our next question here, if my mouse feels like scrolling. Why is my little mouse broken, dude? I have to go get this freaking fixed or something. From Doggo asks, What is your favorite Nintendo Switch accessory? I talk about how I made a YouTube short recently where I was like, these are 3 weird accessories. I don't really ever use those in my actual gameplay. The only accessories that I actually use are controllers, honestly. Like, really. So, a controller is considered an accessory. I would give you my main Switch controller is the 8BitDo Ultimate. I use a blue one that they very kindly sent me, so thank you, 8BitDo. I use that controller. That's my favorite accessory in a sense. However, if you're looking for like a bit more of a weird answer, I actually love that Nintendo Switch toaster. I keep some game carts in there. It's very cool. If you don't know what it is, it's a mini, like, quote unquote toaster, and you put 2 Switch game carts in there, and you can like pop them up. It's very cool. I use it sometimes. Corey, channel member, most exciting thing about the Switch 2? What's the most exciting thing about Switch 2? Like, thing that I'm, like, looking forward to? I guess I would say the launch games. I'm excited to see how good Mario looks. I'm excited to see how good the Switch 2 looks on your screen and how the games look. That's what I find most exciting for me at this moment. It's like how good things will be, how crisp and quality all these games are going to look. That's what I find exciting. Joseph channel member asks, which Nintendo characters do you think deserve more recognition or are underrated? Someone like Professor Egad, or in my personal opinion, Lubba from Mario Galaxy 2. One comes to mind instantly. He's the best guy ever, but not everyone knows who he is. My vote is Toadsworth. If you've played Mario Sunshine, you probably know who Toadsworth is. He is the kind of Grandpa Toad, is how I commonly describe him. He's like Grandpa Toad, but he makes appearances in like Mario Tennis. He's not a playable character, but he's like just like there. You can spot him. He makes appearances in several games, but he doesn't get enough spotlight. He's never like a playable character, not very often, but he's there. He's always showing up. He's showing his support. Toadsworth, my man. I vote Toadsworth. And then final question from Camden, channel member, asks, do you prefer red or green Koopa Troopa? Divisive. I like it. I think I prefer the green. Green to me just screams like more of a mellow tone. Well, I guess if it's a mellow tone, it doesn't scream at me. So green is like very calm for me. It's a calm color. The red one seems a bit more evil because he's red. That's like Bowser's minions type red. So I would say the green one. Yeah, I like the green Koopa. I love him a lot. Anyways, that is it for the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, episode number 89. Thank you all so much for listening. Now, for those who have been holding out for our trivia question, I asked you all in the beginning of the show, what was the last Wii game to ever release? And if you said either answer B or C, it's both of them. B and C were both correct answers. You were correct. Retro City Rampage Deluxe and Shakedown Hawaii were both released as the last games for the Wii on July 9th, 2020. Very late, and only 4 years ago. If you leave us a positive review, I will make a terrible Wii game and release it so I can be the last Wii game I've ever released. Do it. I'm just kidding. But any great and positive reviews are appreciated on this show. That is the best way to support us. If you want to support the show, non-financially anyway, the best way is by leaving a review on your favorite podcasting platform. It only takes a minute, if that. You can do it right now on Spotify. It takes you 5 seconds. We appreciate it more than you know. I'm going to go grab some lunch. And with that said, I will see you all next Saturday. Next Saturday, I will be giving my first impressions on Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door on Nintendo Switch. Whether or not I actually end up playing it on Switch or on the GameCube, I'll give you my first impressions on the game. I'll be picking it up Thursday on launch day, and I'll be freaking playing it, and I'll let you all know how it is. With that said, it is EmSwizzle, it is Max signing out for the podcast episode. See you all next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on your favorite podcasting platform or on YouTube. Check out the video version if you would like. I'll see you all then. Adios!